What is up YouTube, and welcome to this Spider-Man Far From Home video. So if you're new to the channel, please do drop a like and subscribe down below if you do enjoy the video. And it has been a while since I've done a video. I just have been away. I've been in Disneyland Paris celebrating my birthday. I had a great time and it really was fun waking up in the most magical place on earth. But I'm back, and while I was away, they dropped the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer on my birthday, which was absolutely mad. Thank you, Marvel. Thank you for that birthday present. I really appreciate it. But it is very, very curious. We finally got to look at the elementals who will be the villains of the piece here in the movie. So, of course, Molten Man, Hydro, Sandman, and what looked like Electro. And that's mad to think about that we've got each one of those. Now, of course, the elementals are Doctor Strange villains. They are a version of them. But the fact that they are using these characters within the story of Spider-Man, well, that pretty much gives us a big insight as to what is going on, and the fact that these are possibly going to be villains of Spider-Man, which is, of course, the Sandman, Hydro Man, all big, big villains of Spider-Man himself. But the big thing here is the fact that, well, Mysterio is the villain, and he's got the whole bulb helmet as well, which is pretty darn awesome as well. And Jake Gyllenhaal, who I absolutely loved. And if you're not a big fan of him, go and check him out in Night Stalker, which is possibly one of the coolest movies I think he has ever done. He is just, it's gripping, along with Riz Ahmed as well. But Mysterio, he is mysterious to say the least. He is very much a D-bag who creates illusions and uses it to trick people. Especially Spider-Man, he tricked him. And we've got a carousel scene straight from the comics where we see those two actually fight. And they will be fighting towards the end. Now, of course, we know that S.H.I.E.L.D. will be recruiting both Spider-Man and Mysterio to fight these weird sort of things, these apparitions, these elementals. Now, of course, we see him using Chitauri tech. We see him also, they mention Iron Man and Thor. And that is a kind of callback. It's a thing there to denote that possibly his tech not only has Chitauri powers set up and made by the Tinkerer, which in my opinion, he is definitely having his suit made by the Tinkerer. I think that this also has some sort of element of magic in the fact that it whips up these elemental things. And I do think that they will be involved in this, and it will be Mysterio creating these to get back at Spider-Man, because he's possibly been hired. He's been hired by the upcoming Sinister Six, obviously Scorpion and Vulture from behind the scenes, behind their cells, may have something to do with this, and I think the Sinister Six will be set up for the next movie. Sony really wanted to do a Sinister Six movie, but they didn't have the chance to do it because everything fell apart after Amazing Spider-Man 2. So we know that may possibly happen in some way. Now the real question here is, where's Tony Stark? We have the Stark Relief Fund, we have Happy Hogan, flirting with Aunt May. Yeah, can't blame him, can you really? And then at the end of the day, it's May. But what we have here is the fact that the big mystery of where the hell is our boy, Tony Stark. Now, of course, there are three things here. So I'm going to start with the ones which I'm not going to talk about too much. I'm going to lead into the most interesting theory as to where our boy Tony actually is. Now, of course, it may be the studios not put him in there. They're not going to reveal the fate of Tony Stark whatsoever, are they? Because Endgame has not actually been released. So there is that. So next up, it also may be the fact that he has simply died. That's it. Or he's not actually in this movie. Third one is really curious. Now, we know that the snapping in some way will be undone. But how will that be undone? We know that time travel in some way is going to be used quite heavily in Avengers Endgame. We see them go back in time to the Battle of New York. There is return to the 40s as well in some way. And what the hell is going on? Now, of course, if you're a fan of The Flash, you'll know that, well, time travel can undo quite a lot of stuff. And of course, time travel, if you are successful, no one will remember you being successful. Yes, of course, Thanos, him there, said, I hope they remember you. Well, they're not going to remember him because he went back in time and fixed it. What if before he went back in time before the snap, fixed it all with the rest of the Avengers, and the snap never actually happened? Now this makes sense, and there is some evidence of this in the trailer. This is because Peter Parker he has his Uncle Ben's suitcase, which is the first time that's actually been mentioned, and well, he's using the Stark Tech suit. This is the one he uses at the start with the very funny scene of him with Aunt May, and he also flies around New York with it, and he's not bringing it on holiday with him because, you know, whatever. Now the weird thing is, he had the Iron Spider suit. So why would you not use the Iron Spider suit if you had that? It's the better suit. Well, he only got that when he jumped aboard the Q ship, and he would have only got it if he joined the Avengers. If Tony went back in time, undid the events of Infinity War, well, he would have never got that suit. So we know that the snap is undone by simply it never happening. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Please do like, please subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.